How's it going, you guys? How you doing? Welcome to the show. It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. Welcome to Saturday, July the 7th, 2018. What a beautiful day here in Creston today. Not quite as hot as yesterday. We're getting a little bit of a break from the heat, but we're enjoying it nonetheless. We're going to be probably around 80 degrees today, and around here, that's pleasant as can be. A little cooler than normal. We'll take it, though. Fantastic day. Clear sky, loving it. Hope you guys are having a good weekend, having a good Saturday today. Hope your weather is good. Hope you're not too hot out there. Hope you can survive the elements. Excuse me. Good to see you guys. This show, Traveling with Bruce, Saturday edition, 2 o'clock Eastern. We're here to talk about travel. You can ask me anything you want about going on a cruise ship holiday. We love talking about cruise ships here today. The topic today actually is not even about cruise ships. It's talking about flights, airlines, the most profitable routes in the world operated by some of the top airlines. I found this stat today. These were unbelievable statistics. I'm quite looking forward to getting into it with you. You just don't think about this on a daily basis unless you're in the business. You just don't know. Those of us who fly occasionally or for flying for pleasure, we don't think about this stuff, but when you realize that a jet airplane nowadays can cost hundreds of millions of dollars per plane, and if you want to be an airline and want to be a player in a particular region of the world, you got to have more than one. You got to have more than a dozen. You got to have hundreds. And you think about the kind of money that these airplanes cost to acquire, maintain, staff, and then the marketing to get them filled up. It is staggering. And somewhere the money comes from someplace. Where does the money come from to make this happen? And I found the 10 highest revenue airline routes in the world to kind of give us an idea. Just why is it that these airlines exist, how they exist, and how it works, and just kind of put it all in perspective. It's fascinating stuff. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. The channel is growing right along here. We're just at 2,341 subscribers. I think we gained 8 since last night. Thank you very much for joining me, the newbies. I want to thank you for coming on board. I hope you're finding this channel interesting. I hope you find the topics that we talk about interesting and engaging. This is an open Q&A forum type of a show where people can ask me whatever they want about traveling or going on cruises or whatever your thoughts are. And it's a chance for those of us who are here on a daily basis to say hi to each other. How are we doing? What's going on out there? We love cruising. We love to travel. And we love talking about it. If you're a new cruiser, you've never been on a cruise ship before, this channel's for you. We here welcome new cruisers with open arms. If you love cruising and it's been a while, or you're waiting for your next cruise and you need a little comfort to get through it until the next cruise is ready for you, this is the channel for you as well. We love talking to fellow cruisers and comparing notes, and it just helps pass the time between now and our next cruise. Sign in if you like. Say hi to me. Tell me where you're watching me from, or just say hello. Tell me what's your high temperature going to be today. Are you guys still suffering from that unbelievable heat wave out in the U.S.? A lot of my viewers are from America, and it has just been brutal down there, unbelievably hot and humid and miserable. Speaking of the USA, I'm headed to the United States today. This is, like I say, Saturday the 7th of July. It's just after 2 o'clock Eastern time. But where I am in Creston, British Columbia, 3 miles north of the U.S. border, the mighty 49th parallel, the longest unguarded border in the world. No armies on each side of this border. I'm heading to Creston. I'm heading to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho after the show. I'm going to post this video and hop in the car. Jen and I, my wife, who is a Jennifer Aniston knockoff lookalike, she and I are headed to Costco in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, because this week I received a envelope in the mail from this couple right over here. The Thomases, they sent me a Costco gift card because they know I love going to Costco. And so we're going to burn that baby up today. We're going to melt that Costco gift card at the Costco store in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Pick up some provisions, grab myself a chicken bake. Jen's going to get herself a Costco hot dog, $1.50. How can you beat that deal? pick up some gas and work our way up. So thank you again for that very much. The Thomases love it. Those of you out there who want to send me a postcard and send me a greeting, by all means do so. My address is in the description here below this, below the video you're looking at here. And also I want to thank a lot of my, a whole bunch of my viewers who are really helping support this channel. Those of you who know this channel well, you know this info. Those of you who are new, you may not know, this is all I do for a living. This is my full-time job. I do live streams Monday to Friday at 5 o'clock and Saturdays at 2. Plus on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do a live show at 8 o'clock in the evening where I have trivia. And today's show is a mixture of information and trivia. And I like to keep it engaging and hopefully entertaining for you guys. And so the way I stay on the air is Jen has the day job, and I do this as my job, and my viewers support me by keeping me on the air. And I thank all of you who've been helping me and supporting me. Some of you numerous times. I very much appreciate it. A couple ways you can help keep Bruce going. Just down below here is a link to Amazon. You can go to the Amazon homepage through an affiliate link of mine. It's a web address that I have here in the description of this video. Click on that, you go to Amazon, and if you buy anything on Amazon in 24 hours, commissions come to this guy right here on anything you buy. It varies from 1% up to 10% based on the item. And I thank those of you who've been shopping on Amazon through my affiliate link. Very much appreciated. Another way you can support this guy is well, get yourself a Traveling with Bruce t-shirt. I've got 30 different designs now, different kinds of logos. There's another one there. There's another couple logos there. I got a logo on this coffee mug right here. Here we go. Traveling with Bruce, the old porthole version. We put these on t-shirts, on notebooks, on clocks, on stickers, and whatever. It holds my caffeine-free Diet Coke. Cheers. Yes, sirree. And I thank all of you who've been going to the Redbubble store of mine to pick up this merchandise. The link is either below here in the description and or on my homepage, the one where the banner is that says Traveling with Bruce. Up on the right-hand corner are all the little dots up there. And one of those is a Redbubble link. You just click on that and you're in the store and you can just peruse for hours. 17 different colors of t-shirts, men's and women's styles, hoodies, sweatshirts. It just goes on and on and on. I can't describe it all. It's just endless. Redbubble just does a great job. No duties if you're buying from Canada or the US or Europe, because Redbubble has manufacturing facilities in the country where you're ordering from. So if you're from Canada, you want to get a Traveling with Bruce t-shirt, don't worry about UPS soaking you a whole bunch of money for handling fees and duty fees and whatever these surcharges are. No, it's produced in Canada, shipped in Canada. If you're buying in the US, produced in America, shipped from America, direct to you, and they handle all returns. They handle all the logistics. I can't screw it up. I love those guys. Thank you for supporting my channel by buying these items. I love it. I have people buying these things, these shirts, and they're wearing them on cruise ships. They're wearing them in shopping malls. They're wearing them in the grocery store. And sometimes people come up to them and say, "Are you Bruce with Traveling with Bruce?" So if you want to get mistaken for me, buy one of these. What else I got to say? Oh, people are sending me direct donations through my PayPal account. I can't thank you enough for that. That is the most powerful, immediate way to help this guy stay on the air. There's a link to a PayPal donation account right, again, on my homepage up here. There's a button there. You just hit that button. You can send me any amount you want to send me whenever you want to send it to me, 24/7, any currency. I get about 94% of what comes through PayPal after their fees and conversion and all that stuff. It's fantastic. It hits my account within 20 minutes. It's there. It's just incredible. Maybe it's even 5 minutes. It's unbelievable. I have had people in the past send me super chat money through YouTube. Only during live broadcasts like this one. You can, if you want, send me a direct donation through Super Chat. The issue for me, though, is if you send me a Super Chat, 30% of it goes to YouTube. That's the handling fee and the conversion and their profit. They take a profit of the action. Whereas if you send it to me through PayPal, 94% comes to me. So even if it's a $5 donation, that makes a difference. That 25% difference. It's $1.25 that comes my way. Costs you no different. But I thank all of you who've been very supportive of myself and Jen to keep this channel on the air, and thank you very much. There's the end of the commercials, the end of the begging. Let's talk about the topic at hand and say hi to the folks who are saying hi to me. Folks have been texting me already, telling me where they are or what they're doing. The first to say hi to me today was Blaine. Blaine was saying hi to me at about a half an hour before the show began. Hi, Bruce and all. 89 in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina today. Feels like 99 and sunny, probably with that heat index. It's kind of warm. Welcome, Blaine, back to the show. Robert Brandt. Hi, Bruce, all from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. You folks who go cruising, you're in his hometown all the time. He's got 87 degrees today. Tracy Dunlap. Hi there, Tracy. Hi, Bruce and all. Excuse me. Hot in Naples today, probably over 90. Forgot to look. Too excited. What's this here? Mail lady and I brought a red bubble. Oh my goodness, she's excited. The mail lady came and brought a red bubble package today to her house. And what's inside? A brand new wall clock. Oh man, Tracy, get that hung up on the wall. Take a photo of it and post that photo in the Facebook page. We have a Facebook page for Traveling with Bruce called Traveling with Bruce. It's a group. It's a group there. Love to have all of you join the Facebook group and post photos of your favorite trip, your merchandise that you pick up, whatever you want. Love it. The steamer was yesterday. Steamy Bean was at Montreal. He was watching a football game, a CFL football game between his beloved Ottawa Red Blacks and the Montreal Alouettes. Ottawa won. He's a happy guy. He was at the game. He took a selfie and posted it last night on Facebook, and a whole bunch of us responded to him and said hi. It was just great. Robert Brent, hi, Bruce, 87 St. Thomas. Scott Weber, hi, Bruce. It's 82 and sunny here in Palos Verdes. Paul Wilgus, hi, Bruce and all. 72 here in Virginia. Tom Henry, hi from Nashville, 10 C, 82 Fahrenheit. I'm figuring it out. Artie Khan is here. Greeting Bruce and all. 76 and clear today in New Jersey. 6 days until Radiance cruise to Alaska. Fantastic, Artie Khan. You're going to Alaska on the Radiance of the Seas. That will be fantastic. I hope you have a great time. Mark Lewis, knock off, look alike ent. No idea what Mark is trying to say. No idea. Robert Brandt asked around and got answers in the Sky Ride and on island tours. You can buy a Sky Ride ticket in advance for 21 bucks. The Magan Bay, etc. tour is $45, and the full island tour is $65. That's for you folks who are going to St. Thomas on a cruise. You've got 4, 6, 8 hours to kill. You can acquire tickets for some of these entities. If you want to get the best view of the island from one of the highest vantage points, you take the, I think you take the Magan Bay tour, which is $45, and I believe it'll take you up there to the top of the island, which I think is 1,500 feet up, if I'm not mistaken. Like he says, a full island tour, $65 a person. So you got to decide if how much time you want to spend and how far you want to go. If you just want to walk to the Sky Ride from the ship, which is easily done, 10, 15-minute walk, you can go up the cable car. You go up about 700 feet, and it's right over top of the harbor there. Great photos. You can really grab some nice shots there. But that other one for Magan Bay, that sounds pretty good too. Thank you, Robert, for giving us that info. This is great. Suzanne Hoffman, greetings, fellow cruisers. Warm and sunny summer, just 40 miles south of San Francisco. Welcome back, Suzanne. What a great place you live there. Tom Henry, Paul waved at you as we passed. We passed W-Ville. How about that? Desi Wagner, hi, Bruce and all. Happy Saturday. A beautiful day in Chicagoland. Mid-80s, sunny and low humidity. Loving it. That is awesome. That's Chicago at its best. Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry, darn, I missed you. Blaine, hi, Desi. Hope it's that way, July 25. I will be connecting in Chicago, headed to Bozeman, Montana. Well, how about that? That's just south of us here, a little south and a little east of us from here. Sylvia, hi, Bruce, decided to go to the mountains of North Carolina. 63 and drizzle. Well, hopefully the drizzle will stop and the cool temperatures will continue. Welcome back. Fantastic day there. Robert Brandt saying hi, Tracy. Silo Steve is here from Seattle. Morning, Bruce. 112 days until the Bliss and the Haven in Mexico. He's going on the Norwegian Bliss in the Haven Suites. Fantastic. Silo's been following me for months. I remember when Silo was telling me it was 200 and something days. Now it's 112. They're coming one at a time, my friend. Fantastic. He's saying here 561 days to the haven on the Encore in the Caribbean. Seattle is 75 today, 59 for the low with overcast this morning. Wow. 561. That's probably one of my longest advance meters on this show. That is something, Silo. Something tells me, though, my friend, that the right deal comes along at the right time for you. You might just jump because you've done it before, and I don't blame you. You get the chance, you go. Absolutely. This is great. Tom Henry, boy, VA is a long trip to get down to Bristol. Is it VA, a long trip to get down to Bristol? Well, is that Virginia to Bristol? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure, Tom. What do you mean? Sylvia, I'm so glad I wore long pants and a rain parka. Sylvia, cool in these mountains here. It's 62 degrees, I think. So, yeah, that'd be a bit of a shocker to the system from the 90s and humidity. Wow, I remember typing 225 days to the bliss not long ago. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. That's when you started telling us. Jim Thomas, hey guys, 101 for the high here, but it's smoky out though. Hang in there, Jim. Stay indoors, keep it cool, and keep that air clean. Welcome back, buddy. Desi Wagner, hey Blaine, you never know about the weather here. 90 is expected next week. Yeah, Chicago can change big time. Jim is, I think Debbie is getting off the ship today. She must be just about ready to get off the Bliss, unfortunately for her. I hope she's had a good trip. I'm looking forward to hearing from her, hopefully as early as Monday when she's back. Let us know if you hear anything from her today. Let's see here. Paul Wilkins. Oh, Tom Henry. Yes, it is. I feel the same when I head east. He's saying. Sylvia, Silo, Steve, were you the one with the wheels in the vlog? She's asking. Kind of curious. Excuse me. The Norwegian Bliss. We have a number of my viewers who are either been on it or getting to go on it. And Debbie Emanuel, one of our regulars, was on it this past week, and her cruise is over today, unfortunately for her. Silo, not sure we will do any cruises in 2019. Maybe go to Bonaire for 7 to 10 days instead. Right on, Silo. Richard C. Great. England wins 78 here. Beautiful day. Cool breeze from the north. England did beat Sweden today in the World Cup of Soccer. They're in the Final Four. Now we're waiting, I think, for the Russian team. I think they play today. We'll find out if they make it in or not. Jim Thomas, tour in Seattle right now. She's on a tour in Seattle right now. But that's where Debbie is right now, touring Seattle with her mom, I think. Very good. Sylvia saying cruising with wheels. She was asking about. She's asking a question of Silo, and we'll see what Silo says. Yes, I was on the inaugural Alaska cruise with Kevin and Frank. There you go. Yep, he was with them. How about that? Fantastic. All right, I've got some trivia for you guys today after I go through this first topic, and then we'll see how you guys do. If you have any questions on cruising, let me know. Anything you want to talk about, by all means, fire away. But today I read an article that I found really fascinating. It was about the biggest money-making airplane flights or routes in the world by airline. And the number one route that makes the most money is held by British Airways. British Airways operates 15 round trips a day between JFK and Heathrow in London, England. So from New York to London, 15 round trips a day. Just think about how many airplanes that takes, that is needed for that. How many crew members that needs, how many flight ground staff and the logistics with all the food and the alcohol and the cleaning out the toilets and cleaning the seats and keeping those planes in mint flying condition. It is a phenomenal number. They generate $1 billion a year in revenue from just that flight, just that one. Now, British Airways, we know they're huge. You can fly British Airways to Toronto. You can fly British Airways, I think, to Boston. I think you can fly British Airways to Washington. I know you can fly Heathrow to Miami. British Airways flies into the U.S., into Canada, all over the place. Flies to Calgary, flies to Vancouver, L.A., Frisco. Multiple numbers of flights per day in some cases. In the case of New York, it's their big one. This is their number one moneymaker. $1 billion a year in revenue from one flight back and forth, Heathrow, London, Heathrow, JFK. It's stunning To think about that, 6% of all of British Airways revenue comes from that route. 6% of the whole company out of the hundreds of flights they operate, 15 a day. It is stunning. The second biggest money-making flight in the world is operated by Qantas in Australia. And this is Melbourne to Sydney. This is a little over a 1-hour flight. It's all it is. It's a short flight. It's the only short flight to make the top 10, actually. And it is Melbourne to Sydney, $855 million. 36 flights a day, return trips a day, 36. So it's almost 3 an hour. It's every 20 minutes, sometimes faster. It's incredible how many flights from Melbourne to Sydney are offered by Qantas, and it is a huge, huge moneymaker for the company. Emirates has the third most lucrative flight in the world, and Emirates operates this flight from London Heathrow to Dubai on those giant A380 aircraft, those double-decker airplanes. Emirates generates $819 million a year in revenue between Dubai and London, about 7 hours each way, approximately 6-7 hours. And the reason that these flights, all three of these flights, and the rest I'll talk about, the reason that they make this kind of money is because of business travel. It's not from you and I as casual, occasional travelers. It is the die-hard business account travelers that are flying, and in many cases, business class, especially on these longer flights. They're flying business class because they've got their laptops with them and they're working. They're working on the flight. They're in communication with their home company, their home office, and of course their clients. Singapore Air, London Heathrow to Singapore is another big moneymaker. The world's fourth most lucrative route, operated by Singapore Air, $710 million. What's surprising about some of these, and in particular the number one flight, British Airways, there are more airlines other than British Airlines flying from New York to London Heathrow. It's not like British Airways is the only one. American flies, United, not Lufthansa, but a number of airlines fly back and forth between Heathrow and the UK and the United States. But yet the only airline with the big payoff is British Airways. It's really stunning. Now I'm going to guess one reason is that British Airways does so well. It is the national carrier for the United Kingdom. They have the most planes for the route. In the U.S.'s case, you have American Airlines, United. You probably have American, United, and who's the other big one? Losing my mind today. They're splitting the numbers. American Airlines doesn't fly 15 round trip flights a day. They probably fly 5. United probably flies 3, 4, or 5. This type of thing. You've got Virgin Atlantic. You've got these other carriers that don't fly as many flights. Yet, even so, it's such a popular route. It's such a route in such demand that no one else is in the top 10 for that exact route. Only British Airways has it. The fifth most lucrative air flight is American Airlines, LA, Los Angeles to JFK, LA to New York. American Airlines is generating almost $700 million in income from that route. The next flight is United Airlines, San Francisco to Newark. Not JFK, not LaGuardia, Newark. Frisco to Newark generates $688 million in revenue for United Airlines. Stunning the amount of money that one route makes. Cathay Pacific comes in at number 7, Hong Kong to Heathrow. 13 plus hours, 14 hours, a long way, and again, a heavy business route. Cathay Pacific generates $632 million a year from that one route. And that's how Cathay Pacific and Emirates and Qantas, this is how these guys afford Boeing aircraft or Airbus aircraft, the biggest aircraft, the 777s, the A380s, the Dreamliners. These are the aircraft that these airlines are buying for these routes because they've got 200 to 500 passengers per flight ready to go, and in most cases, business travelers paying top dollar. Qatar Airways, London Heathrow to Doha in the Middle East, $553 million. Air Canada is the only Canadian airline. Air Canada, Vancouver to Toronto, a domestic Canadian flight, shocked me, Number 9 on the list, $552 million US in gross revenues. But it also goes to show us in Canada just how overpriced we pay. Oh, how much? Too much. We pay too much to our own airlines because they've got us cornered. American Airlines cannot fly from Vancouver, British Columbia to Toronto. Forbidden. American Airlines can fly Chicago to Toronto or Chicago to Vancouver, but it cannot fly Vancouver to Toronto. That's a domestic Canadian flight, off limits to foreign carriers. The only WestJet and Air Canada in Canada have that right to fly that route direct. And that's where we as Canadians get screwed. We don't have 20 airlines. We got 2. These guys, they don't really compete that hard. They don't have to. They got us cornered. They make us pay. Singapore Air rounds out the top 10. Singapore, from Sydney, Australia to Singapore, $544 million. I know that Qantas can fly that route, Australian airline, but Singapore Air has the majority of that route, and they are generating half $500 million a year in gross revenues. It's phenomenal money. Just a little taste of the kind of traffic and the kind of money that these airlines are generating. They have to generate this kind of money. Otherwise, they cannot offer the number of flights that they offer as an entire airline as it is. They have to generate this kind of revenue to fly the kind of aircraft they're flying, as modern as these aircraft are. Otherwise, we'd be looking at 25-year-old 767s between New York and London that were picked up secondhand for $25 million, breaking down all the time. British Airways cannot afford to have any of their aircraft have mechanical issues. And so these planes flying between JFK and Heathrow are basically brand new aircraft within 4 or 5 years of age. Top-notch maintenance are kept on all the time, of course. Standby aircraft at a moment's notice available in case an aircraft goes down. And that's how you generate the loyalty from your clients, especially your business clients. And that's how you can generate $1 billion+ a year from one route alone between the US and the UK. It is phenomenal stuff. I find it just fascinating to read this stuff. It really is something. Just going to catch up on the comments while I've been talking away here. Cool Jazz. Hello, Bruce from the Big Apple. How you doing, Cool Jazz? Nina Frank. Hi from a warm 30 degrees Celsius and sad Sweden. Sweden lost to the UK today in the World Cup, so Sweden's down. Tom Henry, welcome back to land at Debbie Emanuel. Sylvia, I saw the vlog. You were running your mouth when they were trying to get your attention. Laugh out loud. This is a message to Silo, I think. Blaine, Silo, the vlog they posted at the critic session also had you in the background. Silo, we were all talking and drinking. Actually didn't know Kevin was filming. Tom Henry, did Beaner ever get on his problem flight? He did. He made it. The Beaner got to Montreal, got to the football game last night, and posted on Facebook. He was on the Traveling with Bruce Facebook page last night with a selfie from the stadium, and then he was talking to those of us who were talking to him. MG Tow, British Air is the worst airline I've ever been on. The last time, did not work, and they lost my bags. The hell with those guys. MG Tow does not like British Air. You make a mistake one time, you're done forever with that guy. Robert Brandt, and they have fake booze, Robert Brandt is saying. MG Tow, Air Canada is my favorite. They have bigger seats. Oh my goodness. We here in Canada, we don't love them that much. Tracy Dunlop, MG, not trying to be disrespectful, but you need to look at things in a more positive light. It really makes life more enjoyable. Well, MG's got his ways. What can I say? I flew British a couple of times, several times actually. Flew it from Calgary to London, London to Miami, and then flew it Calgary, London, London back to Calgary. And beautiful, just great service. Nice staff, professional, and all their stuff. Pleasant environment, nice planes. I've been on a 747, I've been on a 767, and I've been on a Dreamliner, and enjoyed all the flights. The food is good, service is good, prompt. The dirty dishes didn't last long in front of us. I loved how they took care of us, and easy going. You want another drink, you can either just saunter your way back to the galley and ask if you could have another drink. They'd be more happy to give it to you. You can carry it back yourself, or you just hit the light, they'll come and get you. I liked it. It was well treated. Robert Brand is laughing out loud. Tom Henry, anybody hot? Just got into our Hampton Inn room. It's freezing. It's set at 60 degrees, he said. Tom Henry, come join us to cool off. Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry, I'm laughing my ass off. MG2, I am positive. I just don't like the cruise community ripped off by these guys. There you go. Well, there you go. What can I say? Anyway, I'm going to hit the first trivia question on you guys today. See if you are on the ball today. And we'll get you going here. We've got 27 folks watching now. We got 13 thumbs ups. Thank you for coming by, throwing me a few thumbs ups already today. If you can spare any more, let me know. Please pop them in there. Let's see here. Blaine, having fun in Nashville. I love Nashville. Real cool place. No pun intended. Laughing out loud. Fantastic. Good eating in Nashville. I got a couple of about three trivia questions for you guys today. See if how you do on this one. The first one is the largest subway systems in the world for most passengers serviced. Tell me the 10 largest subway systems in the planet that service the most passengers. Okay, see how you do with these answers. And I got to say, I'm thinking about Debbie Emanuel here, guys. One of the answers is definitely in Debbie Emanuel's wheelhouse. But let me know, what is the world's largest subway system by most passengers serviced? Not necessarily the longest systems or anything like that. Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry, Tokyo. Tokyo, of course, it's got to be Tokyo. Tokyo is number 2. 2.6 billion people a year ride the Tokyo subway system. That's B with a billion a year. MG To was thinking New York City. MG, you're correct. Number 5 on the list, 1.3 billion passengers a year for New York City. Paul Wilgus also had New York. So did Tom Henry. So did Nina Frank. Let's see, who else have we got coming in here? We got London. Nina Frank is thinking London, England. London is number 8 with 866 million passengers a year. And what do we got here? Paris from Blaine. Paris, number 6, 1.4 billion passengers a year. Ride the subways in Paris. Robert has Paris as well. Let's see here. Beijing. Blaine is thinking about Beijing in China. Beijing not in the top 10 for ridership. I'm sure they're building out, though, and eventually they'll reach up there. Tom Henry, San Francisco. Nope, not San Francisco for subways. Nina Frank, Berlin. Berlin is not on the list. They have an extensive system, but they don't have the billions. I think the reason is that Berlin has trams, buses. They have the S line, the U-Bahn and the S-Bahn, the subway and the urban rail, the buses and the tram, and so they're diversified. And you want to get around Berlin, you got a number of choices. Blaine, thinking about Seoul, South Korea, number 3 on the list, 1.4 billion passengers a year. Jim Thomas had Berlin as well. Tom Henry, Singapore. Singapore is not in the top 10 globally. Shanghai, Robert Brent. Shanghai, not in the top 10 either. Blaine had Shanghai as well. MG To, Los Angeles, not even close. MG To, what about Rome or Roma? No, Rome is not in the top 10 either. Mexico City, Robert Brent is asking. Yes, Robert, you are right. 1.4 billion for Mexico City. 4th highest on the list so far. Does LA have a subway? LA has urban transit. They do have a bit of a subway system, and then they have an above-ground tram or light rail system, which is being built out nicely through various suburbs of LA and is proving popular, but in no way does it get anywhere near the top 10 in volume. No way. It is growing fast, though, but no, not even close. Blaine is thinking Moscow for the subway system. It's number 1. Moscow has 3.2 billion passengers a year in its subway system. 3.2 billion. That's 260 million a month. I think if I got that number right, 260 million times 12 is about 3.2 billion-ish. Wow, incredible. It's like 9 million passengers a day. Yeah, that is phenomenal. Madrid, Paul Wilgus. What about Madrid, Bruce? Nope, I need 3 more. I'm looking for 3 more. New Delhi? No, that's not one of them. All I know is the traffic jams from Tom Henry. MG To, trams. Blaine, Hong Kong. Hong Kong is number 9 at 790 million. Very good. Robert has Hong Kong. Robert also came with Moscow. Nina Frank, Brazil, Barcelona. No. And MG To. What about Bombay, Bruce? No, Bombay is not on the list. I'm looking for a Japanese city and a Russian city to finish the top 10. A Japanese city and a Russian city will finish the top 10. We already have Moscow, Tokyo, Seoul, Mexico City, New York City, Paris, London, Hong Kong. I'm looking for number 7 and number 10. A city in Japan and a city in Russia. And we'll see what we have. Let's see. Moscow, Barcelona, Bombay, Buenos Aires is my last guess. See if we get any more guesses coming in. One in Russia, one in Japan. That'll finish our top list. Here we go. Osaka, MG To, you got it, buddy. Number 7 on the list, 957 million. Almost 1 billion people a year ride the subway in Osaka. St. Petersburg from Robert Brandt, you did it. That's number 10. 721 million people will round out the list. Those are the top 10 subway systems globally by numbers of passengers a year. From 721 million in 10th place to 3.2 billion in first place. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I believe that Moscow, the cost to ride the subway in Moscow is pennies. Pennies a ride. It's really cheap. The city of Moscow, the country of Russia, have determined that the best way for their population to be mobile is to operate a subway system that is heavily subsidized by the government, where they do not now have to worry about subsidizing the automotive business as heavily, because 3.2 billion Moscovites can get around Moscow quickly, efficiently, with electrical power. Very well done. Tokyo, same thing, 2.6 billion a year. Why have a car in Tokyo? You don't have to park it. You don't have to buy the gas. You can take the subway. 2.6 billion people do. That's a phenomenal number. Like I said, Seoul, Mexico City, 1.4 billion each. Amazing. All right, that's our first one. Well done. Here's the next one. Now, this one here, I did a little bit of research on this. I hope I have it right. I think I have it right. Tell me if you can, the largest cities in the United States for taxi fleets. Cities with the most taxi cabs in the United States. Now, this is a few years old, maybe 5-6 years before the days of Lyft and Uber. This would be taxi cab fleet sizes in the United States, the top 10 U.S. cities with the largest taxi fleets. Hi, Brittany is here. Hi, Brittany Lockwood. Welcome. Paul Wilgus is thinking New York City, and it is number 1. New York City, 13,237 taxi cabs. Number 2 coming in here, guesses are coming in for Los Angeles from Jim Thomas, Paul Wilgus. LA is number 4, 2,300. 1/6 the number of cabs of New York. New York, 13,200. LA, 2,300. Wow. Bakersfield, MG To, the fleet in Bakersfield didn't make the top 10, buddy, but it was a good shot. Robert Brandt, Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not on the list in the top 10. Nina has New York. Brittany has New York. Blaine is coming in with Boston, and it is number 9 with 1,494 cabs approximately. Boston. Chicago, Robert Brandt. Yes, number 2 city is Chicago, 6,650 cabs in Chicago. Blaine is thinking Dallas. Dallas did not make the top 10. Paul Wilgus going with Miami. Miami is not in the top 10. So did Blaine with Miami too. Blaine, what about Washington? Number 3 in the list, Washington, D.C., 6,300 taxi cabs. Lots of cabs in Washington. Jim Thomas, Las Vegas. There's cabs everywhere in Las Vegas. There are cabs everywhere now in Las Vegas, but not in the top 10. They probably are in the top 20, though. Denver. Blaine is thinking Denver. Looking for Denver. I don't have it. Nope. Denver did not make the list. Orlando, Robert Brandt. Yeah, Orlando is number 7, which surprised me. 1,800 cabs in Orlando. Phenomenal number. Blaine, Honolulu. Nope. Didn't make it. Nina Frank. What about San Francisco? Yep, number 6 on the list. You got it, Nina. 1,825 cabs in Frisco. Robert Brandt has DC. We did already. Brittany Lockwood is thinking New Orleans. They're not on the list in New Orleans. I need 3 more at the moment. Let me see what we have. Pittsburgh from Blaine. Nope, no Pittsburgh there. Miami, no. Sacramento, no. Blaine, Houston. Yeah, Houston is number 5. 2,245 taxi cabs registered in Houston. Here's your list so far. You've got New York, Chicago, Washington, Los Angeles, Houston, San Francisco, Orlando, and Boston. 2 cities left, 1 in the south, 1 in the north, and I'm looking at my answers here. Miami, Sacramento, Houston, and Atlanta. Atlanta, number 8 at 1,550 taxi cabs, leaves 1 city to go in the north. And here it is. Blaine has it at Detroit, and it is Detroit, Michigan, 1,450 or so. That is the list of the top 10 cities in the U.S. with the largest taxi fleets, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, before Lyft and Uber came into being. These numbers probably will have been adjusted. Eventually, we'll have the largest. We'll have quizzes available, largest Lyft, largest Uber fleets, that kind of thing. We'll go from there. All right, I got one more for you guys. This is our last trivia question of the day. I'm going to ask you for 20 answers. These are European cities that I'm looking for. And what I want to know is, tell me the 20 busiest airports in Europe for passenger counts. The top 20 busiest European airports. You can give me city names if you want, for passenger counts, all right? And we'll see how you guys do on this one. It shouldn't be too tough, but where they lie might be of interest for you. Here we go. Brittany Lockwood is thinking, what about Budapest? Is Budapest on the list, Bruce? No, unfortunately, Brittany, Budapest is not in the top 20 for European airlines. Tom Henry, Heathrow Airport in the United Kingdom in London. Yes, London Heathrow, number 1 with 78 million passengers a year, according to the latest surveys, is number 1 airport. Blaine is thinking Paris. Blaine, we've got 2 in Paris. Paris, the number 2 airport is Charles de Gaulle, 69.4 million. The second Paris airport is Orly, O-R-L-Y. It is 32 million. And going back to London Heathrow, Blaine has London, Paul has London. London has a second airport that is Gatwick. And Gatwick is number 8 on the list with 45.5 million. So there are 2 London, England airports and 2 Paris airports in the top 20 to show you how dominant those 2 cities are for airport traffic. Let's go on here. Milan from MG Tow. Milan in Italy. Just seeing if it made the cut here. I don't have Milan in the top 20, but they're awfully close. Frankfurt, Silo Steve is looking at Frankfurt in Germany. And looking here, one moment. Yeah, Frankfurt is 4th place at 64.5 million people. 4th place overall. Nina has Frankfurt as well. Brittany Lockwood is looking at Rome. MG Tow is looking at Rome as well. Number 10 on the list, 40.9 million in Rome. Yep, Brussels. Wes Morrison, is Brussels on the list, Bruce? No, I don't have Brussels in the top 20 in Europe. Blaine, Amsterdam. Yep, number 3. We have Heathrow, Paris, Amsterdam. Amsterdam, 68.5 million. Then Frankfurt. Those are your top 4. Very good. Hamburg. Nina Frank. Hamburg in Germany. I do not see Hamburg in the top 20 in Europe. Not Hamburg. All right. We got Blaine going Frankfurt, which we have. MG Tow coming in with Madrid. Yep, Madrid number 6 on the list, 53.4 million. Just a little behind Frankfurt. That is Madrid. Nina Frank is thinking France. Well, France is the country, but I need cities. Munich, Robert Brandt, question mark. Yep, number 9. Munich, 44.5 million. Very busy airport, Munich. Is Amsterdam, we have Cool Jazz. Istanbul, Robert Brandt. Yeah, Istanbul, number 5. 63.7 million, and Istanbul is moving up the list. Istanbul, the country of Turkey, has determined that air traffic is a serious indicator of economic growth and wealth, and the Istanbul airport is expanding. The Istanbul terminals are expanding, and Turkish Airlines is expanding rapidly. They want to be a player, a big-time player in the European-Asian market, the halfway point between the two. Tom Henry, Reykjavik in Iceland. Is Reykjavik yet on the list? They're not yet there. They're growing because of Norwegian Airlines and others using Reykjavik as a drop-off point, but not yet. Anina Frank, Berlin. Berlin is not in the top 20. There are 2 airports in Berlin that I believe split the traffic. Now, eventually, Berlin will be dominated by one airport, the international airport that has been a fiasco for a decade. There has been an airport being built for 10 years now in Germany with delay after delay after delay. They were supposed to be open 8 years ago. Then they were supposed to be open 6 years ago, then 5. Every year, it seems that they back up the opening date of this massive international airport that's going to be opened in Berlin, and it is not yet ready. So they're still using Tegel and the other airport in Berlin, and they're splitting the traffic at this point. Blaine is thinking Manchester. The Manchester airport is 18th on the list in the United Kingdom, 27.9 million passengers. It is a top 20 airport. Brittany Lockwood, Barcelona. Bruce, yes, Barcelona, number 7 on the list, 47.2 million. Paul Wilgus, Moscow. Moscow has 2 airports in the top 20. Moscow has number 11, which is 40 million. That's the Sheremetyevo. And then it has number 13 at 30 million passengers, 30,700,000. I can't pronounce it. Domodedovo Airport. Anyway, between the two, 70 million passengers use Moscow for traffic, and Moscow is one of the biggest cities for air travel. Brittany Lockwood is guessing Madrid in Spain. Madrid in Spain, we have already. They came in 6th place. Blaine, Leonardo da Vinci Airport in Rome, Italy. We already have Rome, 10th place overall. MGTO, Bern, Switzerland. No, did not make the list, sir. Nina, Stockholm. No, Stockholm did not make the top 20. Dublin, Robert Brandt is thinking Dublin. Number 14 on the list. Dublin, 29.5 million people. Nina Frank, Copenhagen, number 16 on the list, 29.1 million. Constantinople, well, that's Istanbul, MGTO, and we've got them already. Orly in Paris, we have Blaine. MGTO is thinking Lisbon in Portugal. Lisbon, number 20, just made the list at 26.6 million. Lisbon is in there. Blaine thinking Zurich. Zurich is number 15 on the list at 29.4 million. Zurich, Switzerland, very popular. We have 2 left to go. Vienna, I was thinking Vienna would be in the top 20, but they're not. Norwegian Air's home airport. Well, Norwegian, there's what is there? Oslo, Helsinki. Neither made the cut. Well, actually, one of them did make the cut. It's Oslo. I gave it away. Oslo, number 19 on the list, 27.4 million. One left, and this is not on the continent in Europe, but it's yet European. Tel Aviv, no. Madrid, no. Geneva, no. The city or the area I'm looking for is a resort destination for Europeans. It's kind of the European equivalent of Nassau, or of what would I think of the North American equivalent of Hawaii. The winter getaway for Europeans. Where do they go in the winter? En masse, big time. You can buy 1-week charter deals from all over Europe, the UK, down to this place, and there it is. Robert Brandt has it. Mallorca. Mallorca, Spain. Palma de Mallorca, 17th most popular airport in Britain, or in the UK, sorry, in Europe, is Palma de Mallorca, 27.9 million. That is the list. Here we are. London Heathrow, number 1 at 78 million. Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris, France, 69.4. Amsterdam, 68.5. Frankfurt, 64.5. Istanbul, 63.7. Madrid, 53.4. Barcelona, it's 47.2 million. Gatwick, London, 45.5. If you take Gatwick and add it to Heathrow, 45.5 plus 78 million, 123 million passengers. Then there's Leeds, Stansted, there's other airports in the London area. That goes even beyond that. It's phenomenal. Munich, 44.5. Rome in 10th place at 40.9 million. Moscow has one airport at 40 million, another one at 30 million. Paris, Orly at 32 million. If you add Paris, Orly to Paris, Charles de Gaulle, 100 million passengers from Paris. Phenomenal numbers. Dublin, 29.5. Zurich, 29.5. Copenhagen, 29 million. Palma de Mallorca, 27.9 million. Manchester, UK, 27 million. Oslo, 27.5 million. Lisbon, 26.6. Last thing I'll mention, and it's not a trivia quiz actually, because it would be difficult to come to you at a trivia, but this is interesting trivia to me. I read this today, and I will leave you with these thoughts and call it a day. I took a look at some statistics about airports, world airports, the top 50 in the world from 2010 right up to today, 2017, basically. Here's what I found interesting. In 2010, the number one airport in the world for passenger traffic was Atlanta Hartsfield. Number one in the world, Atlanta. 2017, it's still Atlanta. Atlanta still holds the number one position 7 years later. Back in 2010, Atlanta had 89.3 million passengers. In 2017, 103.9 million. So that's about 15 million more, not quite 20% more passengers, and they hung on to number one. Now it gets interesting. The second highest airport from the United States in the top 50. Back in 2010, the number two airport was Chicago. They were third overall in the world. Chicago O'Hare, third busiest in the world. Today, they're the sixth busiest airport in the world. They've been passed by three other cities. The next airport was Los Angeles. Back in 2010, LAX was number 6. Today, LAX is number 5. They're hanging right in there. They've gone from 59 million passengers to 84 million passengers, and they're holding on to their top 6, top 5 position. Number 8 back in 2010 was Dallas-Fort Worth. Today, Dallas-Fort Worth, 12th. They've lost 4 spots, yet they've gone from 57 million passengers to 67 million. 10 million more, and they're losing ground. Denver was 10th busiest airport in the world back in 2010, 52 million passengers. Denver today, 20th. They've lost 10 spots. They've gone from 52 million passengers to 61.3 million. They've added 9 million. They're down 10 positions to the growing world of aviation. It's not in the USA. JFK was 14th in 2010. They're 22nd today. George Bush Airport in Houston. This is the shocker. George Bush International Airport was 21st in 2010. Today, they're 48th. Annihilated. George Bush International handled 40 million passengers in 2010. They handle 40 million passengers today. They have not grown their passenger counts. They are almost out of the top 50 on the planet. It really is a shock. Other airports, McCarran in Las Vegas from 22nd place to 27th place. San Francisco from 23rd to 24th, hanging right in there. Even though they've added 15.5 million passengers, they've only gained 1 spot in the rankings globally. Phoenix Sky Harbor from 24th to 41st. Charlotte, 25th to 32nd. Miami from 28th place to 40th place. Miami has gone from 35.6 million passengers to 44 million passengers. 9 million more. They're losing 12 spots on the world rankings. It's incredible. Orlando, 29th to 39th. Newark, 34th to 43rd. Minneapolis, St. Paul, from 35th place, off the chart. They're not in the top 50 anymore. I don't know where they rank. Detroit, 36, off the chart. Seattle, 39 to 31. It's one of the only airports in the United States that actually have a growth curve. They're going from 31.5 million passengers to 46.9 million. Cruise ship passengers has a lot to do with it. SeaTac Airport has also gained flights through United and other carriers using Seattle as a gateway to Asia. So Seattle has gone from 39th to 31st place in the world rankings. Quite stunning. Philadelphia, 42nd place, off the map. Boston, 48th. Logan Airport, 48th place, not on the chart anymore. Quite phenomenal. Some of these airports cannot expand. They are at maximum. They were at maximum capacity in 2010. Their terminals are a certain size. They only have so many runways. They can't handle any more passengers unless they handle bigger planes. That might only add a couple percentage points to their numbers. Most airlines have added new terminals, or airports have added new terminals to handle A380 aircraft or 777 aircraft or Dreamliners, the 787, A350s from Airbus. That's one way to increase the flow, or add runways. Heathrow is right now the number 2 or number 3 airport in the world. They've just got government approval to add a 3rd runway. That's a huge political football that the British government's been playing around with for almost a decade. They finally got off their butts and said, okay, we're doing it. They're going to build a 3rd runway in Heathrow. That'll increase capacity by probably 35, 40%. And that could take Heathrow to the number 1 airport in the world. Could take them there, but it'll be a decade before we see the final numbers. Fascinating stuff. I just love this stuff, following these kinds of statistics. It's amazing how the world is shifting. Places like Dubai have gone from 10 years ago, they were the 15th largest airport to the number 2. Beijing has gone from the top 15 to the top 5. Jakarta, Bangkok, Seoul, South Korea, Shanghai, of course, New Delhi, Sydney, Australia, Melbourne. These are airports that are growing and growing fast. This is where the business is headed, and it's business travel. Leisure too, but business travel is the big driver to bring these airports into the top 50 globally. The United States, we're all matured out. Canada, we're matured out. The Toronto Airport, Pearson, for those Canadians watching, number 30 right now. In the last 10 years, Pearson has gone from 38 to 30. It's actually been able to grow, but they're not getting into the top 5. Pearson Airport in Toronto cannot handle 60, 80 million passengers. There's no way, but it is still growing. It's an amazing statistic how this works. A couple comments here from folks. We're guessing some more of these flights, and then we have Brittany Bruce. I think there may be a first. I do not see any thumbs down. Well, just wait. Someone will do it. But thank you, Brittany, for letting me know. Blaine, I'm surprised Miami isn't higher due to the cruisers. Yes, isn't that something? Fort Lauderdale, of course, has its share of the Miami cruise market for passengers flying in and out. So if you took Fort Lauderdale's airport numbers and merged them with Miami and put them into one, Miami would be a higher rated airport. It might go from, say, 28th to 23rd or 22nd, something like that, or wherever that. Miami, like I say, right now is 40th. It might bring it back to the top 30, perhaps. I don't know for sure. It's interesting because Miami's a busy place. Robert Brandt, is Miami down because Fort Lauderdale is up? There's the answer probably. Tom Henry, Brittany, you'll jinx it. Brittany, oh, I see one. You got a negative. Robert Brandt had a comment with Brittany. I think New Orleans may be building a new airport. I don't know. Brittany, if they're building maybe a new terminal. Robert Brandt, we got a thumbs down. Robert Brandt is the same person all the time. Could well be. Tom Henry, laugh out loud. Did anyone see the Facebook post asking if a 9:50 a.m. Fort Lauderdale flight would work for the Miami disembarkation? The responses were fun to read. You got a 9:50 flight out of Fort Lauderdale in the morning, and you're coming off a cruise ship. You're nuts. You're not going to make it. Not going to make it. You're playing with fire. Your odds are probably 5-1 against you. I don't like the odds. Paul Wilgus, me too, Robert. Brittany Lockwood lost. Almost any city has a larger airport than what Baton Rouge, Louisiana has. There you go. I did a flight. My wife and I did a flight out of Fort Lauderdale on the day of a cruise. We got off the Epic, the Norwegian Epic, and we had a flight to Las Vegas, but it didn't leave until 7 in the evening. And so we got off the ship around 11:30 towards the end of the run, and we grabbed a bus to Fort Lauderdale. It was like $10 each or something like that, and we got there by about 12:30 or so. Excuse me. Yeah, 12:30 or so, and then we grabbed a booth at one of the restaurants in the airport. It was Sunday. We were watching football, NFL football in the sports bar, and we had a lovely leisurely lunch and a couple of beverages, and we spent until like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the restaurant. No one, the staff, stay as long as you want, no problem. Loved it, loved it. Watched a couple of football games, and then worked our way to our gate, and then flew to Vegas. Yeah, it was all right. That's the easy way, and that's the less stressful way of doing it. Otherwise, you're just playing with fire. Getting a morning flight out, I don't care where you're from, where you're going. You want to get a morning flight out of an airport when you arrive to a port city by a cruise. Good luck, because sometimes the cruise ships can't get to the pier because there's an issue at the pier. Sometimes there's a traffic accident just outside the port. There's a traffic accident, and traffic is backed up for 2 hours to get out of the port, and you're just watching your flight take off. You can't get to the darn thing. The airport's just over there. Can't get to it. Yeah, it's playing with fire. Tom Henry, any suggestions on Nashville things to do on Monday? A wedding on Sunday. What to do in Nashville? I think find ribs. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be finding a rib joint in Nashville. Food, baby. That's what it's all about. Russia, Croatia, 1-1 at halftime. I'm kind of cheering for Croatia. That's just me, but it's a lot of fun. There you go. Well, folks, I hope you had a good day today with me today. I hope you enjoyed my 2 o'clock show for Saturday, July the, what was that today? The 7th? July the 7th. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for PayPal donations to let me go to Costco. Thank you for buying merchandise, Traveling with Bruce stuff, and going to the affiliate link on Amazon. Really appreciate that. Enjoy. I do enjoy these live streams. I'll be on again Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern time with my next show. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff, I'm sure. Paul Wilgus, eat at the Pink Pig Barbecue, Tom. There you go. Tom Henry, I'll be scouting for picks to post, he says. Robert Brandt is throwing thumbs ups. Everybody, give him a thumbs up on the way out the door. Richard, bye, everybody. Wendy McCullough, we used to go down to Second Ave, Tom, but that was a while ago. Tracy Dunlop, have fun at Costco. Thank you, Tracy. We're looking forward to doing some shopping and getting some grub and bringing back some provisions. I got 18 thumbs ups today, 1 thumbs down. If anyone can spare thumbs ups today, I would appreciate that. Tom Henry, thanks. Goodbye, all. Thank you, Tom Henry. Thank you. We'll be thinking of you today at Costco, and we'll be having a good time. Guys, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for all your support. Have a great weekend. Have a good couple of days off. I will see you guys Monday. I might post a video or two between now and then, but, we'll see. And we'll take it from there, okay? Enjoy. See you guys later. Bye for now. Bye-bye.